right, we are back, you guys. I apologize for that. Hopefully it goes better. We restarted the computer, and I did realize I didn't know that my cord came out of my laptop. So, and after I stopped the stream, it came on said battery saver mode was on. I'm like, what? So it probably was the issue as well. I'm not sure, but anyway, we are back. All right. I hope Dave was able to come and join us back again, and everyone else that was watching. What's up, Game Queen 81? And we couldn't do it last night either. Well, you were still asleep. I couldn't come on last night either because of the storms. But we had storms in the area, and yeah, tornado warnings and everything. So didn't want to be on stream in the middle of all of that. So yeah, I guess. How much did I miss? Well, we had technical difficulties, so I had to restart the stream, Game King 81. All right, Dave, I'm glad to see you back. So hopefully everything is sounding okay. Dave said I had an echo in the last stream. How's it sounding now? But yeah, this computer, you know, these computers act crazy sometimes. And I had forgot to restart it. I normally restart it, you know, before the stream, but anyway, okay, thank you, Dave, for that. Okay, so I guess I could go on and proceed. Whatever, dude, whatever. Okay, I'll read the title again. We got Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Oh my goodness, where we at? Episode 4, Turnabout Succession Trial 7 years ago. So we're going back in the past, you guys, like I said in the last stream. So I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching. Your mic in the way.
Yeah, sure. Finally. Showdown time. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, seems I found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met. 7 years ago.
Seven years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. One moment.
Phoenix Wright's final trial.
I do this too. I don't know. It's just I want the stream to be faster than the volume. So, all right.
Now the game gone is over.
Now the game gone.
How are you gonna have 2 technical difficulty streams in a row? Okay, let's go.
April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court defendant lobby number 2.
Phew, okay. It's been a long time since I feel like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Good morning, Mr. Enigmore. Sorry that I sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday, attorney. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
Oh, she got to sound like pearls, huh?
For sure.
Ooh, morning, Daddy.
I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picked on you.
I'm fine as always. This old boy is here to help me after all. That's a young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. My first show's today at the Owl.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What is she talking about? That's her.
Oh, boy.
Huh? Me? Look what he started.
Kind of like,
Apollo, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm used to Apollo. I can't go back. Oh, look what he started.
Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later.
Notebook page added to the court record. Mysterious paper received just before the trial. All right, so is that the trial? Is that the paper they were referring to? Let's see.
Well, how you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy I hear. An easy win then, yes? They call him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Thoroughbred. Of course. There's one of those every year. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. I see you do not understand. You see, it would be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday. And the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I'm in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Nickmore, known to the world as Zach Gramarye. A wildly popular magician, star of Troupe Gramarye. His mentor, Magnified Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, until he was shot dead. And Zach Gramarye is the suspect.
Is that the guy in the yellow suit?
Huh? What you talking about?
What you mean? What I'm talking about? April 19th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Nickmore. What's his name?
Nickmore.
Nickmore.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Is the prosecution ready?
I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really.
Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime?
One of the worst. This is a trial, Ja. Where are the sweaty palms? The pounding hearts? The Governor's concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Who? Where you again?
Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started, legally, Ja?
Gavin, defense attorney? Christoph Gavins?
Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Xavier Gavin, lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, Ja. Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up. Air attorney, right?
Perhaps you would be so kind to fill us in on the case.
Axe tongue, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes, Detective Gumshoe. Hit it.
Oh, they got gumshoe back, huh?
I was so surprised. I didn't think he was going to ever show up again.
And you are? Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir.
I can't do his voice. I can't do his voice no more. No,
You should have practiced.
Gumshoe. Wow, pal, it's been a long time. Oh.
Nope, that's not it either.
Wow, pal.
I can't do it no more. It's over. Gumshoe, my boy.
Okay, let's go on.
Hey, pal, name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. Detective Gumshoe, long time no see. Hey, you! Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I get confidence in my testimony today, see?
What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony?
Hey, detective, this is my stage. Candy antics. Huh? All this hey youing and such. And I could care less about your history together.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 days back in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene.
Why you got holes in his head and the doll's head? What in the world?
The victim was a patient, asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam! Lights out. Them's the facts.
Not so long ago, the victim, Magnified Gremory, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name magnified in one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
I'm reading on mute, Lord. Yes, so I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Gremory has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, the retired Magnifier's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mal-ignorant tutor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah.
A malignant tumor, perhaps?
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
Magnified's chart added to the court record. Diagnosed with a malignant tumor, given 3 months. Is that their father or something? He won't say. The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin when he was shot with a pistol. The syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
Small syringe added to the court record, used for administering insulin shots, has been watched and shows no sign of use. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir! It was 5 a.m. I just went to Walmart.
Witness testimony, the circumstances. Hold on.
I got my noodles. They always have my noodles. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do them in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder.
A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. What?
The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir.
Son to get it back, oh, son to get it back.
What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I have the letter in question.
Magnifies letter added to the court record. Let me read it. Letter asking Zach to shoot him. Very unusual indeed. Let me see. I can't click that.
My attorney's badge. I showed this to everyone back in the day.
To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th. What's the 13th?
Yes, sir.
11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Magnified Grammary. Okay, dokie. Although could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court?
Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details there, attorney.
Well, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night for a half hour starting at 11. The victim, Magnified Grammary, was given an IV. An IV?
There it is in the picture off to the side of the bed.
At 11, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag.
So they just got a gun on the tray, on the hospital tray.
Here's your gun, sir.
Ah, thanks. This happened every night without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV.
Very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me.
cross-examination of circumstances. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in.
Oh my god, hold it. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead after all, just as he commanded. It could be a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal.
Fine, I can play it slow as well as I can play fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder.
And his letter was sent by the victim?
There it is! Gotcha! You're all mine this time, pal!
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out. Of course it's the victim's. No mistake.
I see.
Ha ha ha! Score one for the boys!
I didn't lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed?
But a letter ordering your own death? Things aren't what they used to be, I guess.
I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor.
So anyway, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
That's Gumshoe.
The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead.
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cracking.
Crank it. Get crank. You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective.
First, we got this letter. It says, "Sure in the forehead, loud and clear."
I can see that, but I still won't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal.
You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, Detective.
We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene.
Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently.
Well, Mr. Wright, as far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
The photo? Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead.
I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigma.
I have no clue. I'm going home. Maya, prepare the bath.
Where Pearls at? Where Pearls?
Pearls, I need my bike.
Then pull the trigger, shot something else. I think there's a hole. I know he shot that teddy bear with that clown thing over there, didn't he?
Ooh.
Which one is?
Maybe.
Shot something else.
Maybe.
Well, there's a hole in his forehead too, so.
Yeah, forehead.
Did he pull the trigger?
I mean, he couldn't have not pulled the trigger. You see them gunshots?
Shot something else.
Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
Objection!
What? And you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking of, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot?
I don't know. Maybe that's extremely obvious clown.
The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See, it's been shot in the forehead too.
Ah, there's a hole in his forehead.
Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim.
Objection!
Huh, and I suppose you have a reason as to why you shoot the clown doll. He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ugh! Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot, square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead!
Okay, I'm lost. The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead, it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
Objection!
I admit, I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim.
Objection!
Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead, as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life!
The bullet hole in the clown's doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get.
Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal.
Hold it!
So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim?
Hey, not a bad summary, pal.
More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully.
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in.
Oh wait, this is the start again.
Okay, so we got to find a contradiction.
Find a contradiction.
Look, I don't know. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the.
Oh wait, yeah, he said he wanted information.
About what?
The case, yeah, I've heard some on suspicious statements.
It's fishy. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. What you think? The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it.
That one's good too.
This one is too.
I say do the fourth one and then the fifth.
Hold it!
Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Valen Quick Draw Shoot 'em?
Huh? What's that?
One of the defendant's specialties. Zack and Valen stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on the stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it.
Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot of the police force.
Troop Gramarye stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since.
Four. No, you did 5.
And the pistol definitely belonged to the old
That's
man.
5.
Sir.
We just did that.
Hold on. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it.
Hold it!
You mean this? You mean this pistol? The one in the crime scene photo?
That's the one. It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull and the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did.
The court would like to know. I said no. The court would like to see the pistol in question.
You got it, sir. Here she is.
Well, this truly is a blast from the past.
It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets.
It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
Yeah, but it can only hold 1 round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently.
So, were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own.
Aha, intriguing point, well made.
Whoa! Not well made! Not intriguing!
In any case, the court accepts this evidence. Stage pistol added to the court record fires 1 real bullet. Barrel marks match. Bullet found in victim. No fingerprints found. My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony.
Where's this gun, boy?
And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. Let me see. Did we do this one?
Oh wait, yeah.
So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal.
We did that one.
Oh, we did that one?
Yes.
Oh.
That's a shame. His forehead is as big as that other guy I don't know.
Okay, he said let's read the letter.
You read the letter.
I read the letter.
Yeah.
So what the letter got to do with this?
You gotta find a contradiction. Did you forget how to play the game?
Well, let me read the letter again.
Saki boy, I don't want to live. Come shoot me.
I'm trying to pass and glory in my life curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I've already a gun in which you will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse. Let me see, what's the time of death?
11 to 11:30. It's a shame.
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. How do you know that was the defendant?
She gotta think about it, y'all. She gotta think about it.
Really?
Yep.
What I got to do?
Huh? What you talking about? I ain't gonna spoil it. What you hear about? You gotta figure it out.
It's about that letter.
It's about the pistol.
The pistol.
Yes.
The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene. Let me see this one.
Nope. What did we just learn about the pistol?
What we just learned that
Yes.
we didn't know?
Yes.
It was from it fired one shot. But 2 shots were fired. Let me see, which statement was it? A few days before it happened.
Still got that bandage on his face.
And that pistol behind his forehead. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. So would it be in this for this statement? No.
There's a better one.
The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene. No doubt about it. This one here. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal.
Also, they changed Phoenix Wright's objection sounds in this one too. Did you hear it?
I hadn't paid attention to it.
That's a shame, bro. Them the best parts of the game. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay, I was gonna say.
They sound a little different.
The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed a bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went in.
Objection!
Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he couldn't.
The murder weapon, how?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time.
Ah!
If he had shot the clown in the forehead,
He couldn't have shot the victim, too! Yuck!
That's not a contradiction. Not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot.
Objection!
Oh, where did he get the extra bullets? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready,
Then prove to us how he got it!
ugh. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales. Another lack of humility.
What's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, her detective was just a warm-up act. Ugh! Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you'll find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gregory who shot the victim in the forehead!
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach.
Court is adjourned.
Well, pal, see you later. Gonna eat my noodles and crash my car.
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
How long is the second?
Not that long, probably. You want to do it?
I'm trying to think. Y'all want to do the other part of the trial?
We're going to be on here for 10 hours.
Hey, it's Friday. I have nothing else to do.
Well, if we do this, you gonna
We
see what
gonna be up here
happens.
till 10 o'clock, huh?
You gonna see what happens. Let's go.
I'll leave it to the chat. What y'all want me to go on, or we can pause at this point? We only been on here for like 40 minutes, and then with that incident, well, 40 minutes rather, yeah.
Well, let's do it.
Well, you don't want to go?
I wanna go. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are we on this? Okay. I'm
This is
not-
the save. You never do this.
Are you good with what you I decide? Okay. We could go on to the next one.
Get ready for the 10-hour stream, y'all.
Are you
I'm just
sure?
kidding. Yes, I'm ready. Come, let's go.
What you mean?
I'm joking.
Hold on.
You gotta press V. Yeah. She don't return to the games menu. What kind of junk, mama? That's a shame, bro. That's just a shame. Now that's just a shame, bro. You don't know how to save the game.
Hey, this your game. All right. April 19th, 11:21 a.m. District Court defended lobby number 2.
Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expect nothing less.
We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually.
I do not think you would believe me if I told you. Fear that you discovered the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know.
I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. It was scared Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
You have seen the problem yourself. The letter.
The one shine the forehead one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I cannot deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
This is something I will not say, for now at least.
What's this for now business?
I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
You wanted to know about the night of the incident?
Finally! This guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff.
Of course, I have no intention of shooting my mentor.
I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time.
Found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols.
2?
Yes, the one I used on stage. And the one that had been used by my partner, Valen.
Oh, for the Zack and Valence quick drop thing?
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment.
You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him?
Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first.
So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before?
To be honest, I have not always been steadfast, and I fear I brought that upon my Trucy.
Was Magnify coercing his own disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grammary?
Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I'd fired and placed it in my pocket.
In your pocket?
I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's forehead,
you'll find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called? Rifling marks. Yes, well, that's all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me? You're a fascinating man, Mr. Rod. Thanks? Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. What? Magnified Grammary? The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
Where the nurses and stuff, all that shot fired and stuff, where everybody at?
Yeah, earphones on. What did you talk about? Mr. Rod, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. It's that Grammary. He seems pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn.
Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom.
Once again, I'm in your hands. Right, let's get back in there.
April 19th, 11:37 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. What is now back in session?
During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head.
Well, this is news. And the rifling marks?
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, though they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though, they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do that job. Do the job.
Is this when he loses his thing?
What you talking about? Huh? That's not gonna happen. After all, he is innately acquainted with the players in our little production. Being the other half of Truth Grammary's famous duo, Zack and Valiant. Valiant Grammary. So, we get to meet the great magnifiers of the disciple. No, what's that?
Oh, that's a younger version of him.
Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation. Valiant Grammary, magician.
And you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt?
Fate, the grand illusion filled with traps and tricks.
Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late?
If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes!
Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this.
That looks very familiar.
Wait!
That's the same letter Zack Grammary received! Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da!
Why are you standing like that? Order, order, order. And what does this say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
To my beloved, Valid. To you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:20. This is 11:20 p.m. I've already a gun in which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse. I can't see that. Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into the evidence. Magnified second letter added to the court record. Better tell Valiant to come at 11:20 p.m. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your troop Gramarye up to?
By what you mean?
I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less.
It's just my opinion there, Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them.
We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is a strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand.
By which you mean you're not going to tell us? Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse.
Well, let's get on with this testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gramarye, stands accused. Tell us why.
Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
As every magician knows, timing is everything.
Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up!
Witness testimony the night of the crime.
That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnify requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet, a deal with the dead is still a deal. That sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So you were the one who reported the crime?
Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion.
Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court. But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gramarye, is guilty.
And if it wasn't Zach Gramarye, then the killer was you, Valiant! And no disappearing act will get you out of that!
Cross-examination the night of the crime. The night I visited the hospital room at the time Magnify requested.
Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m.
Indeed! In magic, timing is everything.
Right.
Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic!
Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You went at the designated time, and what did you see?
The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow.
So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby?
I did not consider this, to be honest. If it is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination.
Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid.
Now you're the older one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination.
The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions.
Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse.
So it does, and my partner, he did not refuse.
But Magnify wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zack couldn't?
Because I have a will of steel, of course.
I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all that so strong. So which is it?
Mind if I continue?
Yeah, the deal with the dead is still a deal. Death sweet Chris. I gave it to the clown.
There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you?
No doubt my partner Zack had said much the same thing.
Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I'd better dig around here a bit more and see why I turn up. Mr. Valent, let me ask you about something else concerning the crime scene, namely...
The bullet in the pistol, the location of the pistol, or the number of pistols.
You gotta try to catch him or something.
The location or the number.
I already know where it was. His nurse gave it to him. He was like, here's your pistol, sir.
I guess the number of pistols. Would he have known it was 2 pistols? Let's trick him, I guess.
How many pistols were there when you entered the room?
By which you mean what precisely?
2 pistols were used in the Zack and Valent quick draw shoot'em, correct? One for each of you.
You were well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night.
What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. I found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I'd fired and placed it in my pocket.
I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all.
So you picked up that pistol and fired it?
Indeed I did! Alakazam! Alakazbazing! Alakazaboom!
Is the number of pistols really so important?
Nope, I don't think it was.
You don't think so?
I'm just kidding, it was.
Quite important, Lord dude.
The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor.
Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony.
What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown.
So you took the only pistol there and fired it?
That's correct.
And that pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene?
Good show. I see you 2 are a magician of sorts.
And you're an idiot of sorts. Do you have any idea what you just said? I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. So how about heating up this trial a bit? These slow ballets bore me. I've got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should ask about something else.
The bullet in the pistol. The location of the pistol, or no need. I think the bullet.
No, you got him.
What you mean?
You got him. This correct.
What?
This the correct statement. That would change the statement.
No need?
No need. On second thought, let's run with this testimony for a while longer.
Then I informed the doctor and the police.
Hold it!
So you informed the police. What'd you do then? What do you suppose I did? Used my magic to levitate my mentor's corpse, perhaps? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Now please answer the question and skip the sarcasm. After I made my report, I called the doctor and we returned to the room. While we waited for the police to arrive, we discussed stomach medicine. We've confirmed this with the doctor. It all checks out. He praised Mr. Valent's knowledge of stomach medicine, in fact. It is an honor I do not deserve, but I accept. Both the magnified students received the same letter. Both admit to having gone to the hospital that night. 2 bullets were fired, and one of them killed Magnify. Time to find the cracks in his testimony. Find the cracks in his testimony, Mama.
Well, that dude told him that to check the bullets.
Phoenix literally said it. He literally said it, and you still didn't get it.
Yes, I did get it.
What's the contradiction? What's the contradiction? I don't think she know y'all.
Only one pistol was found in the hospital room that night.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Walter Beckham University. Oh wait.
what does this say? It seems Fate's clock will make me wait a little longer at least. Only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell, magnified Gamery. Really good.
This letter. Oh my god. I'm not gonna say nothing.
It seems Fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. So, well, he told one, the first one to come at 11:05.
Keep this in your back pocket. It doesn't matter yet.
Okay. So do we present the pistol again?
Yeah.
Objection!
According to the defendant, Zach Gremory, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table.
2?
One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it Okay, good. Then he left with... Why did he say like that? Then he left with it in his pocket. What is that, Phoenix? What is this grammar?
Then he left it with it. Then he left with it in his pocket.
That's stupid. Just say... Okay. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Valent has told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least.
Huh?
But the rifling marks tell a very different story, Mr. Valent. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us.
Well, who told us?
Prosecutor Gavin. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Ah! Mr. Valent, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead!
Order, order, order. Well, this is all rather sudden.
Objection!
What have I done?
Prosecutor Gavin.
I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware of that these two unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them.
Objection!
But that's not what you told us before! You said you'd verified the murder weapon! Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might ask. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth?
That was just this morning!
I'm still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault.
How old is he? About 19?
You can check.
Let me see. Why you check the...
Or these old folks. I'm just kidding.
Juice is only 8. He's 17 still.
I'm sure.
32.
32.
He's 37.
Okay.
And this dude's 40.
Does he look familiar? Wait, let me show.
Does he look familiar?
Yeah.
Have you seen him before?
All will be revealed. If the defendant had only admitted he took one pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now.
Valid grammary?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were presented to this court as a decisive witness, but you've proven to be more decisive. I can't even read tonight. But you've proven to be more decisive than decisive.
Divisive?
Oh, I wasn't even looking at it. I thought it was the same word.
You'll see in time. Huh? The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next.
Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Valiant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove, right, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it.
Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Witness testimony. Who shot what?
I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me.
Those times are rather close, you have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. To use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi?
It's easy to explain in this situation there, Judge. For example, take a debut hit single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. The debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff! Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires an admirable focus. And in the time of death, determined by the doctor, there's an uncontrovertible truth.
Very well, the prosecution warns us that we're dealing with a rather precise times, and we can't expect their cross-examination to require the same level of precision.
I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations. lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands.
Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright.
Carry on. Right.
Cross-examination. Who shot what?
Who shot what?
I arrived at the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m.
11:20 p.m. Can you prove that's when you arrived? Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valiant. For there was no one in that room but Magnify, and he was deported after a fashion. I have here defendant Zach Gramarie's promised deposition. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. It was 10 minutes before I left the room, and the victim was still alive.
The time indicated by this letter to Zach was 11:05 p.m.
Exactly. Which means the witness could not have entered that room before 11:15. Because his partner was still in the middle of his crime.
I see someone did their arithmetic homework, Lord.
You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness's testimony. Does that all make sense? Does that all make sense?
Nope.
You get a penalty. You get a penalty. I do it.
Really?
I do
Not
it.
a problem.
I do it. I don't see any problem with that testimony.
We should say so. Let's continue, shall we?
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. I'm hearing us. Is that your phone?
What'd you say?
I'm hearing us. Is that your phone?
A notice?
I'm hearing us. Is that your phone?
You hearing what?
Us!
You hearing us?
Yes. It's gone now. Whatever.
Anyway, y'all. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation and called in the doctor.
You walk in on a murder, and the first thing you do is shoot the clown?
Right.
The disciple does what the disciple must. My mentor's request without reason had caused for me a surfeit of sorrow. For what would I, Valiant, be now without him? May the soul of Magnify the Great find greater peace above. This, I muttered to myself as I pulled that lonely trigger. In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments, Air Attorney.
May I remind you that baseless remarks will earn penalties. Proceed with that in mind.
Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be. Yeah, that's your phone. I can still hear it.
I hear my phone with this music.
What is that over here? Oh, I think that's outside. Never mind.
Outside.
Yeah, never mind. I'm hearing this from somewhere.
Is this the string?
No, I don't think it's in here.
I'm getting him.
I'm hearing voices.
Yes, you heard somebody scream. You said the other night, didn't
Yeah,
you? I go scream.
here's the screen.
You talking to dead people?
Talk to dead people.
All right, the doctor examined the body.
The doctor examined the body before the police arrived.
Hold it.
Did the doctor say anything concerning the cause of death? Why, yes. I believe he screamed, "My God, he's been shot in the head!"
It doesn't take a doctor to notice that. I probably would have screamed the same thing.
And I would have penned the requiem that arose in my soul at that horrid sight. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned investigation? In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments. I already read this.
May I remind you of the baseless remarks for earning penalties? Proceed with that in mind.
Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be.
Didn't they just say that?
Yeah, I think they did.
Did we do this one?
Nope.
He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. But you were supposed to arrive at 11:20.
11:20.
Should I just get them on that one?
Yeah. No, press.
That's what I'm trying to do. Hold on. Well, I was going to present anyway.
I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time?
Do usually only get an estimated time of death true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death.
Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction.
I see another person has done their arithmetic homework.
The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim Magnified Grammarly schedule. Every night at 11, Magnified took an IV drip for 30 minutes.
I can see the IV bag right there, yes?
Now, look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the back to the end.
Ah, the needle's been removed.
Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot.
That will seem to be the case.
When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Ah! You could just measure the remaining IV liquid! Precisely. The IV liquid functions for our purposes as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount of remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began.
IV report added to the court record.
And so it was when I, Valiant, entered that room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Did that seem important?
Well, it was important.
It's time for a right moment.
So he says it's gonna be very important.
Yeah. Well, seeing how it is the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important.
Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold the power of arithmetic. Who says arithmetic these days? Very well. The witness will add this detail to his testimony.
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. We have to make sure. Okay. The water of life springs not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence. Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance? When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assaulted me. Whatever this is. Assailed. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy, a rose dripping and wilted. Its thorn, the discorded IV needle. Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot, luckily for you. If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color. Your lucky color? Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self. for it is always without fail brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valence won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians, I was adorned in its attire then too, and our trophy a bust. Ah, what a day that was. Ugh, this is one trip down memory lane no one needs. My lucky color, yes indeed, and that IV too. I say, I think 'twas healed especially for me, Valent.
That does seem to be the case indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony?
Valent sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? Is there a contradiction? Okay, you mentioned the stupid magicians, right? Was there someone called Max? Tell that guy I want to beat him up.
Who was Max?
You forgot Maximilian? You forgot Isabel, she forgot y'all.
I know. Was he in this case?
No, you remember Maximilian Galactica from the other game?
Ah, so silly.
She forgot.
About the other case.
That's a shame.
Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? Was he wearing it?
What drip were you wearing that day?
The IV. What color is they talking about? Yellow? What is they talking about? That's
Does that
green.
look yellow to you?
But his suit right there looks yellow.
But he said the IV was dripping yellow.
It's green.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
There's a contradiction.
It certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck. But not this time. Mr. Valent, your lucky colors betrayed you. I'm afraid you've lost me. Your Honor, the witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence.
What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based.
Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here.
Very well, let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts that? What
Hubba Bubba has told us. Put Hubba Bubba on the stand.
What is your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Valent has told us? There you go.
It's over.
Is that it?
Yes.
Really? See, he always trying to throw me off, y'all. Why you always trying to throw me off?
What you talking about?
Huh?
The crime scene tells all, Your Honor.
The photo of the crime scene?
All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Tell us there, right? Just where's the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure, and I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white.
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony? There's IV, I guess.
It's over. Valent Grammary, let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes. Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes.
Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright?
Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene.
What's this?
Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy?
Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valent. Look at that IV bag.
Ah! What is this? What foul magic?
it would be hard to call that IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph. Look,
no! Look at that go Max right there.
They go Max.
Yeah, funny rabbit. Order. What does this mean?
Objection!
This is some kind of mistake.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Your witness's mistake.
The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valiant Gremory, as you reminded us several times. Your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Well, this contradiction can mean only one thing.
Objection!
And to think, you almost had me. Huh? I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright.
Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence.
Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. How do you mean? How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree. At a glance, the IV liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you, the liquid itself is quite yellow.
Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green.
Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook?
It looks like I want to say a light blue.
Precisely. Figured it out yet?
I've been figuring it out, child.
Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color.
I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it.
Objection!
As I thought. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin.
How would he know it was yellow if it's in the IV bag? It's showing green.
What? You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Grave? The liquid in the IV bag is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about that, didn't you? Ugh. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Alakazam!
Uh-oh. Order. Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what?
I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valiant Gremory, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because it looked yellow. Like, to be honest, like if you squint at it from this angle, it kind of looks yellow.
It looks yellow. He's seen it before. He knew the IV liquid's color. He'd seen it before?
Yeah.
This sounds like he's seen it before this incident. This what this make it sound like. But anyway.
From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before.
but not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag.
I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what all this means.
Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at the hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor.
Objection!
I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave to getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, Ja.
Objection!
The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin.
I remember it well.
However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag.
Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right?
As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. At which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in.
Objection!
Let me get this straight here right. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. No, wait! I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task?
Objection!
I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup.
Objection!
I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat?
He has a point, amateurist. I at least would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag.
You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I'm tired of these fairy tales lacking evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth?
Violence Grammary. I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in the life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was...
Oh my goodness. With the syringe? This right here, small syringe used for administering insulin shots has been washed and shows no sign of use. I guess. The victim's syringe?
It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use.
Objection!
What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it.
Objection!
And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Ugh. Well, Valiant Grammary, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will. Alaka.
I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in their bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today.
Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much needed investigation work.
I see there are no objections.
Objection!
Surely, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. Huh? What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid. But there's no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it? Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I had hoped. This I admit, after all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much?
You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin?
Proof, Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less.
What's this?
This is the victim magnified Grammary's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnify began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his starting debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we?
Tonight's IV is in, maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. This journal may end here, or it may go on. But not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left is mine is to, what's that? I don't know. Something with this pen. This does appear to have been written just before his death. The court accepts this into evidence. Magnify's diary added to the court record, a memoir of sorts, written up to just before he died.
Read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long that depends on his hand. Of course, by his. He refers to our defendant, Zach Grammery.
That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor after all.
But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here, or it may go on. Or it may go on.